Hi, this is Jake with Optimus Futures, and in this video, I'll be introducing to you Optimus News. Now, I'll also be giving you a brief introduction and tutorial on Optimus News when you log in for the very first time. Now, Optimus News is a news trading platform that helps traders stay on top of the financial markets with real-time, relevant analysis of key economic events. And because of this, each individual's Optimus News platform will be catered to their own individual preferences. As you'll see in just a moment, you are presented with several different options that you can either enable or disable that are related to either key economic events, several countries, as well as currencies and commodities that you're either interested in or intend to trade. Depending on the markets, countries, and commodities and currencies that you do subscribe to, you will receive catered notifications specifically for you because you chose to subscribe to these notifications. Now, that being said, once you are ready to log in to Optimus News, you can do so using the credentials you provided in the login box on the left-hand side of the window. And once you're ready to log in, click on the blue login button. Alright, so upon logging in for the first time, we can proceed to the next page by left-clicking the Start button down in the lower left-hand corner. Now from here, on our first panel, this is where we can enable or disable the countries that we're interested in most. Again, by enabling or disable any of the options here, the platform will automatically customize and cater itself to the countries that you are interested in. Therefore, you will receive news events and notifications based off of any fluctuations that may be relevant to the countries that you do choose to enable. If you like, you can use the most common setting, which is a default list of the most traded or the most commonly used countries by traders on our platform. Or feel free to manually go in there and add whatever countries you're interested in yourself. Now on our next page here, this is actually events based off of currencies and commodities as well. As you can see, there is a filter on the top panel, which allows you to filter the different news events based off of the currency you currently have selected. If you would like to, you can enable or disable any of the news events by left-clicking on the bell icon to the right of our news event. If the bell icon is a solid gold color, this represents that you will receive news notifications based off that event and the currency that it belongs to. If the bell is a hollow color, that represents you have news notifications for that event disabled. Now, once you have the news events enabled that you do wish to intend to receive notifications for, we can begin to proceed to the very next section by clicking on the next button down in the bottom corner of our event screen. Now from here, this is where we'll actually enable or disable email notifications for the notifications and the events that we missed out on when we weren't using Optimus News Trader. Again, these notifications will automatically configure and customize themselves based off of the previous selections you've made in the past two panels. And as you can see, there are three types of email notifications you can subscribe to. The first one being how to use emails, which will essentially provide you with brief tutorials on Optimus News. The second one, which is Morning Digest, which will give you a list of upcoming events for that day related to the events that you previously enabled in the past two panels. And finally, an Evening Digest, which essentially gives you a summary of all the events that occurred that day for these events that you subscribed to in the last two panels. Now, after clicking next, you will be presented on the final initial login screen of Optimus News. This is the Tell Us a Little Bit About You section. You'll simply just need to fill out the dialog boxes with your name, your phone, your country, and the company you work for if you'd like to disclose that information. Once you have filled out the dialog boxes with the appropriate information, you can click on the Finish button to proceed in using Optimus News for the very first time. Alright, so we've just finished our initial login and configuration of the Optimus News platform. And as you can see here, our platform has fully loaded and we're now ready to begin using Optimus Trader. Before I do proceed, I would like to mention if there's any either countries or markets, currencies, commodities that you wish you would have enabled in the previous section, or maybe there's a commodity or market that you would like to disable, this can always be done so after the fact of that initial login. If you would like to reconfigure any of your notification or your email settings, this can be done using the menu in the top left-hand corner. This is the 3 horizontal lines. And then we can go down to first, calendar filter. As you can see here, this is the list of the countries that we originally saw. We also have its impact, which we can now configure as well. So if we'd like to, we can configure the events that we received based off of how relevant they are and how important they are into the market. As you can see, we only currently have medium and high impact notifications on right now. We can change this to all, or we can change this to high only. Back to currencies now, we also have the option to show all currencies, which will give us additional currencies that we can subscribe to as well. In that initial login, there was only the brief handful, which you currently see on my screen right now. So if you'd like, feel free to opt into this option and enable anything after the fact if you'd like. Other than our calendar filter here, we can also go down into emails and notifications. And again, we're presented with a few different options that we saw on our previous screen. We also gain additional options here as well. So as you can see right off the bat, we do have our email notifications, and we have 2 new additional email notifications that we can now enable. We have weekly start and weekly summary, which do function the same as the morning digest and the evening digest, but it's just on a weekly scale instead of daily. Down below, we have push notifications for events. So if you are subscribed to any events and you do have push notifications on, we can receive notifications for 5 minutes before the release of an event, the release time of the event, and we can also gain prospective insights into the event. All these options will give you push notifications. And down below, we actually have access to enable or disable those events, which are referred to in our push notifications here. If you'd like to, you can order by either the name or the currency, and the entire list is laid out vertically for you to either enable or disable whatever events you like. Other than events, we also have the markets in which we can enable push notifications for. As you can see, we can allow push notifications for market open and close for European markets and the US markets. Now, other than receiving text notifications for events and different price fluctuations for the markets that we do care about, Optimus News also provides traders with the ability to receive notifications read out loud. Now, all of this can be configured under the voice assistant section, and as you can see, we can receive read out loud tweets from influential people in the market or different news companies. We can receive read out loud economic events for different news events and releases, different trade ideas, market movements, and the opening and closing of different markets. All of which is audibly read out loud to the trader rather than receiving an actual text notification. So if you would like to opt in to using the voice assistant, you can do so by selecting a voice here in the top left-hand corner. There are several different voice notifications and voice settings in which we can select. Once we have one that we do like, we can select choose. This will automatically enable read the news for me. And then if you'd like to read out loud tweets as well, this can be done so enabling the read the content of the tweet. And that's pretty much it. From now on, whenever one of these influential people in the market or news companies does release a tweet or an economic event is about to occur, an audible notification will be read out to you using the voice assistant voice that you did select. And again, if you do need to either adjust or enable new notifications that you would like to receive at any point in the future, it can be done so by coming back to the voice assistant section and enabling whatever tweets or different economic events and trade ideas you'd like to enable or disable. Now, on the topic of Twitter, if you would like to receive a text version of tweets directly to your Optimus News platform, you can do so by accessing it in the menu and then heading over to the News tab. Rather than having a tweet read out aloud to you by either Donald Trump or Elon Musk, you can receive a direct Twitter feed right into your platform, and you can also receive a direct RSS feed with news events and news feeds picked directly from resources that we felt were valuable to our customers. So again, if you would like an RSS feed or a Twitter feed sent directly to your platform with texts that do open up directly to Twitter, you can do so through the News tab. Now on to our last couple of sections that I would like to show you here. Once again, we do have our charts here on our right hand side. And again, these can be configured in multiple ways. If you would like to set a default set of contracts that always display on your charts when you do log in, this can be done so using our menu here and then going down to charts. And then we can manually enter in whatever contract we'd like to permanently display on our chart. So for example, if I wanted to display the March of the E-mini S&P 500 of 2019, all I would need to do is type in ESH9, save my settings, and when I do reload my platform, my top left contract will permanently display the March contract of the E-mini S&P 500 of 2019. Now finally, one of the last things I would like to show you here is our economic calendar. Now the economic calendar is great for many reasons. And as you can see, we can scroll through events that happened today, tomorrow, or if we scroll up, we can look at past events that did happen yesterday. So the economic calendar tab displays worldwide economic events that, as I said, will happen either yesterday, today, or tomorrow. And as you can see, each economic event that has occurred does have its own economic card. And the event cards that are displayed here show several different pieces of information. The information that is shown here is the time and date of the event, the actual number that was released during the event, previous number released, an expected number that was released, the range for the past 3 years, all the market instruments related to this event, and then we have different things such as magnitude of surprise and perspective insights related to our event. Now, if you do click on each individual event, you will get a further breakdown, and you can scroll through as well to see all the different insights and different trade ideas relevant to our different events. And you can even set up specific alerts to our specific events as well. As you can see, if I do scroll through here, I get my perspective insights, the related instruments to this event, and how they are reflected, and you do get historical data relative to this event. Well, that just about does it for this video, guys. You can look forward to future videos where we'll be individually breaking down each feature of the platform and going over these features in depth. But if you do have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out for us for assistance. We'd love to help you out. Thanks again, and enjoy Optimus News.